HVAC 360, episode number 78. Trane, residential and commercial products from the AHR Expo. Hey, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of HVAC 360. I am your host, Matt Nelson. This is another throwback episode. This was actually recorded on the floor of the AHR Expo back in 2015 in Chicago. And the reason I'm bringing it back now, because it does have, again, some of that evergreen content where you can kind of get an idea of what happened 3 years ago versus what's happening today. I talked with Ken Schoeneck and Rolf Paeper. Ken's on the residential side, or at least was, and Rolf was on the commercial side. So I talked to the two of them, and what was interesting was on the residential side, you see different products. You know, you have the Internet of Things now starting to come into vogue back in 2015, and you can kind of see where that's gone and how that's evolved over time. You're talking about some of the thermostats they're offering and how the integrated services play into the part of the residential market. In fact, there are probably a few good ideas you could probably pick up from listening to the episode. So that's kind of basically why I'm putting it out. Yeah, with things I also found interesting, a little bit of what we're going to talk about in the residential. They talk about the products as far as the thermostats and integrated thermostats. They talk about remote access, variable speed systems. Starting to come into the residential market, and also VRF for the residential. On the commercial side, we talk a little bit about chillers, and we talk about some custom air handlers with Rolf. So, without further ado, let's cut to the tape with Ken and Rolf. All right, we're on the floor of the AHR Expo here. 2015 in Chicago. I'm talking with Ken Schoeneck, who is the VP of Engineering and Technology for the residential sector for Trane. How are you doing today, Ken?
I'm doing good. Thanks, Matt.
So I guess what's new here on the residential side for Trane?
Sure. Sitting here in a Trane booth, we're showing a lot of new residential product. We'll talk a little bit firstly about our new line of thermostats. We've had the what we call the ComfortLink 2 or the Trane XL950 thermostat in the marketplace for a number of years. It's a connected stat, manages communicating systems, and enables a homeowner to connect via iPad, any kind of electronic device to change set points at home and all those kind of things. We've had that product in the marketplace for a couple of years. We're displaying 3 new thermostats aimed at taking the technology down in price point and also down in sophistication of the system that may reside on a home. And starting with our XL850, which is basically a communicating system for non-zone systems, into our XL824 thermostat, which is kind of an entry-level Wi-Fi connected color screen stat for a 24-volt system, minimum efficiency to about 16 SEER. And then we've got a black and white as well, the 624, which is really a down and dirty, cost-effective connected stat for a homeowner.
Right. Now, I guess the 624 is kind of the stat that you typically see now. It's just kind of a black and white two-tone kind of thermostat. The others are full color. But I guess the good news is they're all Wi-Fi enabled, you're saying?
They're all Wi-Fi enabled as well. So they're all connectable to a home automation system or of something like that, to which we have as well. Talking about our Nexia home intelligence system, we have a portal that enables us to bring those stats and display them to the homeowner on their computer screen and connect in any Z-Wave device that would be available on the marketplace, from lights to garage door openers to pool pumps to locks, those kind of things, you name it. So it connects in to an ecosystem that allows the homeowner peace of mind when they're traveling, or somebody that may have a second home to be able to check up on a second home from time to time without having to be there through their iPad or their iPhone or connected device.
So I mean, this Nexia home intelligence. This is something that you're partnering with Nexia to be one of the. No,
Nexia is part of Ingersoll Rand.
Okay,
Nexia is part of our business unit as well. So when we were a few years ago, when Ingersoll Rand had their security business, it started out as being able to connect locks to a device. And it now morphed into, and now Ingersoll Rand no longer has the security business part of their portfolio. The Nexia Home Intelligence stayed with us and enables us to connect all these devices to a home. And we're going to take this to a step where people can literally manage energy efficiency in the home through this portal as well.
Now, when I think of building automation, I think of trained professionals. I think of people who this is what they do for a living.
Yep.
When you talk about the homeowner in the residential market, how simple are you making it to be able to get this information to them, and what are they going to do with it?
Yeah, this is all do-it-yourself. So this is an app that's available online that you can download. It's a portal that sits out on the internet that you're able to download and access directly. Okay, you're able to connect this whole ecosystem of devices, literally do it yourself. Push a button, push another button, the two devices pair, and it will show up in the ecosystem, just like the thermostat as well. And when the thermostat is connected into the ecosystem, all the information that's on the thermostat in terms of runtime, how long it's run, set points, all those kind of things, literally in the palm of the hand of the homeowner. There's a lot of behind-the-scenes information as well in terms of how the equipment is operating, and is the equipment operating efficiently? And that's all derived from information that resides literally on the HVAC system. That information will go to the servicing dealer. Okay, because we believe that a typical homeowner doesn't understand superheat, for instance, doesn't understand whether filters are clogged and your fan is running at 85% efficiency or something like that. All that information will go to a servicing dealer with the homeowner's approval. The homeowner has to opt in to allow that dealer to get that information. But once that servicing dealer has all that information, they can proactively follow up with the homeowner and schedule regular service maintenance intervals.
Right. So what the commercial market already has in that, commercial service provider can actually dial into a building automation system. Yep. Now the residential market has that same capability with their set of residential service providers.
Exactly. We're getting into the residential marketplace from a service perspective, making the Trane dealer a more important asset to the homeowner, and hopefully using it to attract competitive dealers to the Trane brand as well, because we think there's value here that a competitive dealer may want to have as part of their portfolio as well, albeit very cost effectively, because we're in the residential marketplace now, right? Unlike the commercial guys and dealing with contractors and all that kind of stuff, right? Not to say that they're not cost effective, but we have to be, homeowner cost effective, if you will. This is people paying money out of their own wallet for this kind of functionality.
Right. So now, I guess the thermostat is one thing. Connecting it, that's all great.
Yep.
What goes along with that? I mean, you talk about the different types of systems that Trane Residential is coming out with. What are some of the new systems that go along with this new thermostat?
Yeah, generally a homeowner or a system in a home in the United States, a ducted system would consist of an indoor unit, which would either be a furnace, coil match, or an air handler matched up to an outdoor unit, which would either be a heat pump or a condensing unit, right? We've been spending a lot of our time the past couple years getting ready for the minimum efficiency regulation changes that just came forward January 1, 2015. So we're ready for that, to be able to compete cost effectively at the kitchen table from a minimum efficiency standpoint all the way to 2022 SEER kind of a thing. And that would be where we're bringing a lot of technology to bear in terms of variable speed. If you think about outdoor units and the way a traditional ducted system works, it's either on or it's off, right? And as it becomes more efficient, the only way to get it more efficient is to put more heat exchanger in there, raise the effectiveness of the overall heat exchange system, but still the system turns on and turns off, right? And if you think about what energy efficiency is doing in the States and what energy is doing in the States, we're at a place where there's so much more demand for energy than there is generation of energy. We got to think smarter about those units turning on and off, and maybe run them continuously, albeit at a very low speed for a period of time. That derives significant energy savings to the homeowner. And so what we've got a line of 18 and 20 SEER, first commercially available product in the residential space in the 18 and 20 SEER range that is both AC and heat pumps. And then we've got correspondingly all the associated indoor matches in terms of variable speed equipment, again connected by all the thermostats that we just talked about earlier as well.
So basically, I mean, the one good thing about that is that you're matching the load of the building more precisely, which means better humidification control in the indoor environment, which is when you have a system banging on and off, that's going to be part of the problem. You're going to affect the indoor air quality of that system.
Yeah, if you think about a home in the summertime, generally the second story is always undersized from a system standpoint, right? And it runs and runs and runs and runs and runs. It never feels like it gets cool, and it always feels like it's humid in the house because it's never handling that latent load, right? This one here now with variable speed, with a properly sized variable speed system, may run at 20%. It's not really providing any cooling per se. It'll provide a little bit of cooling to maintain that set point. As the set point drifts a little bit, it'll speed up, slow down. But really what it's doing is handling that latent load, the humidity load in the house. And that does a lot both in the heating season and in the cooling season from, drywall not cracking, hardwood floors not separating, all those kind of things, molding not cracking, those kind of things. So it makes the home feel much more comfortable in the summertime. And I've got a variable speed system on my house, and generally I would run it at like 72 degrees upstairs. I'm now able to set it at 76 degrees upstairs and be more comfortable at 76 than I was with the prior system at 72 degrees.
It's not the heat, it's the humidity.
It's not the heat, it's the humidity.
So now, I mean, obviously we talk about ducted systems. I know that Trane is now unveiling a variable refrigerant system for the residential market. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. We've got a line of mini split systems, right, and VRF or variable refrigerant flow systems as well. The mini split systems is really our ability. U.S. is predominantly a ducted market, right? But there is a need for mini splits and VRF in this marketplace as well. Mini splits, and if somebody's finishing a room over a garage or adding enclosing a patio on the back of the house, or generally in some small apartments, 750, 800 square foot apartments may have a mini split or two in the apartment instead of a ducted system. Much more efficient and much more cost effective for the tenant, if you will. Variable refrigerant flow just takes that whole concept and goes much more broader in scale, where now you're literally running and varying the flow of the refrigerant to multiple points. In a traditional ducted system, it would be those supply points in a house, those supply registers. Now you have a cassette with a little evaporator coil, and you're literally running refrigerant to multiple points throughout a building, a light commercial building, or maybe a new home or something like that. And you're literally doing point of use cooling. Whereas with a big home, ducted systems, you're cooling the whole first floor, and now you got the opportunity to cool just the kitchen and the master bedroom and let the other rooms drift a little bit until you walk into the room, and then motion sensing will turn that particular cassette on. So it's all new systems for us, unveiled here at the AHR show.
Excellent. So what new things haven't we covered?
Well, there's a few things that I could talk about, but I'm not at liberty to talk about just yet. But come to the AHR show next year. We'll be showing a whole lot more new stuff next year as well.
All right, fantastic. Well, Ken, I appreciate your time.
It's a pleasure, Matt. Thank you.
All right, we've talked about a little bit about residential. Now we're on the commercial side. We're here with Rolf Paeper. Rolf, what's your title in Trane?
I'm the product business leader for the applied business for Trane Commercial in North America.
So what are some of the new products that Trane is coming out with this year?
What we have here is our brand new Synthesis air-cooled chiller. This is our latest generation, next generation of air-cooled chiller, which will be available this year, ranging from 110 tons up to 500 tons. It's part of the Trane EcoWise portfolio, which is a portfolio of products designed to lower the environmental impact with next generation, low global warming potential refrigerants and very high efficiency. This product is going to be available with R134A refrigerant, as well as with DuPont's Opteon XP10 refrigerant, which is R513A. 513A enables us to lower the GWP of the refrigerant by 55%. And on top of that, the Synthesis chiller has been designed to reduce the refrigerant content in the unit by up to 40%. The unit ships standard with Trane adjustable frequency drives, and it's got a number of different noise attenuation options. So this product is marketed and aimed at the commercial office space, K-12 education space. It's really a mainstream chiller, and we're very proud to launch this year. This offers us an opportunity to lead the industry down the path of lower GWP refrigerants without compromising unit performance or efficiency.
Now, what sizes is it available in?
It'll be available from June up to from 110 up to 210 tons, and from October from 210 up to 500 tons.
Now, this chiller, if you're looking at it, has a beautiful paint job. Now, obviously, it's pretty much a self-contained. You have the pumps internal to the unit. Is that something that's standard with the Synthesis chiller?
What you see here is it's got the integrated pump package on this unit, which we have on the show floor, that will be available as an option for the units.
Okay, so it's not necessarily standard. It's an option that you can select. You can select with redundant pumps or. Correct. Okay. So anything else about the Synthesis chiller that you'd want to touch on?
It's, as I mentioned, it's got our latest generation chiller technology, adjustable frequency drives, microchannel coils, variable speed drives on the condenser fans. Highly efficient unit, enables us to exceed AHR 2013 performance minimums by 25% or more.
Fantastic. Now, right behind us, we have the new Trane air handling unit. Can you tell us what's special about this unit itself?
What we have here is one of our new next generation Trane performance climate changes. It's available with a fan array configuration with full redundancy, something that's really important for mission critical applications. It's also installed with our Trane catalytic air cleaning system, which is a very efficient way of filtering out carbon particles out of the atmosphere. So target markets for this unit are really in healthcare applications, anywhere we want to get germs and carbon particles out of the air.
Now, is this unit itself, I guess, how do you select the size? Does it come in certain standard sizes? Is it, how customizable is it?
What we have on the floor here is our high-end product, our fully custom product. It's part of the Performance Climate Changer portfolio. We have a wide variety of those, from smaller units to extremely large custom units. So really, Trane can deliver any air handling need for all our customers' needs, from a standard catalog configuration to a fully custom configuration.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate your time, Rolf, for talking about the products.
Thank you. Yep. Enjoy the rest of the
show. All right, and we're back. Thanks again to our guests, Ken Schoeneck and Rolf Paeper. Ken is actually now the VP of Engineering and Technology on the commercial side, so he's kind of, flip sides there over at Ingersoll Rand. And Rolf is now the VP of Product Management and Marketing over at Ingersoll Rand. So I appreciate every one of you listening to the episode. I hope it was interesting. If it was, share it with somebody that you know. I'm trying to get the word out. One of the things that I would ask of you is to go to the website, HVAC360.com, and sign up to be on the list. So there's some exciting things that I'm doing with the list and trying to get some things started. So if you want to be included in on that, then go to HVAC360.com and sign up to be on the list. And as always, remember, know what you build and share what you know.